The director of the Integris Grove Hospitalist program talks about an increasing number of COVID-19 cases in northeastern Oklahoma. Plus, a southwest Missouri lake destination is named a COVID-19 hotspot. And we'll meet the history-making winner of the Scripps National Spelling Bee.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
One of the world's biggest drug makers is butting heads with 2 top federal agencies on COVID-19 vaccine boosters. This is KOAM News at 10. Pfizer says it's stepping up efforts to develop a 3rd dose against coronavirus, citing immunity concerns. Mary Maloney has a closer look at the debate.
Pfizer and 2 government agencies out of sync over booster shots. The drug maker saying it's ramping up efforts to develop a 3rd dose that they hope will better protect people from variants. Citing waning immunity from its coronavirus vaccine, Pfizer saying it will soon publish data about a booster and submit it to the FDA, European Medicines Agency, and other regulators for emergency approval. But then, in a rare move, the FDA and CDC came forward together with a different take, saying Americans don't need boosters yet and that it's not up to companies alone to decide when they may be needed.
I'm absolutely concerned about the confusion. I hope that they can get on the same page.
Former U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Jerome Adams calling out the lack of coordination between the government and vaccine companies.
This whiplash really is troubling to the American people. But understand, vaccinations are your best bet right now. They're still incredibly effective.
The drug maker's vaccine requires 2 doses to provide full immunity. But for months, Pfizer has been hinting at the need for a 3rd dose, citing the possibility that immunity may weaken over time. The debate erupting as the Delta variant is becoming the dominant variant, spreading quickly across the U.S. At Cox Health in Springfield, Missouri, 90% of coronavirus patients tested have the Delta variant.
If we don't get enough vaccinated, there's going to be another variant that's probably worse. It's just that's the way viruses work.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
Pfizer says its research showed booster doses of its vaccine produce levels of neutralizing antibodies that are 5 to 10 times higher than what's produced after 2 doses. The Missouri Department of Health and Human Services has declared 3 counties near Missouri's Lake of the Ozarks COVID-19 hotspots: Camden, Miller, and Morgan counties. The CEO at Lake Regional Health Systems says there's been a steady increase of unvaccinated COVID-positive patients being admitted to the hospital over the past few weeks. The public health community has indicated the Delta variant is present in Missouri, so the hospital assumes that that's what's been sweeping the state. About half the patients that are hospitalized need ventilators. COVID-19 is on the rise in the Sooner State, and Northeast Oklahoma health officials who are seeing an increase in coronavirus cases and hospitalizations are speaking out as the situation heads in the wrong direction. At the Integris Hospital in Grove, Oklahoma, Dr. Sam Ratterman says his team went 4 to 6 weeks without seeing a COVID-19 hospitalization, but the situation changed in mid-June.
We're seeing a lot of people come in a lot sicker than they were with the original case. We're seeing a lot younger patients come in. It seems to me that a lot of these patients seem to maybe delay getting tested a little bit longer, and their symptoms are progressing a little bit more by the time they come to the hospital.
Dr. Ratterman recommends for anyone who's eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine to get one. He also says if you have any questionable symptoms, you should get tested and get treated early. He says the majority of COVID-19 treatments work much better early on during the infection process. A new study finds the best way to prevent large COVID outbreaks in schools is to regularly test everyone in the school setting. Canadian researchers believe waiting until a student develops symptoms and tests positive is too late to prevent COVID transmission in large clusters. Many questions still remain about the origins of COVID-19. Well, now museums in Europe are scouring their bat collections in search of clues which could help prevent another pandemic. Curators at London's Natural History Museum are digitizing and cataloging the museum's extensive collection of bat specimens. Data from 3 bat families known to carry coronaviruses will be made available to researchers all over the world as part of the program. Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Hey Dow, it turned out to be a very hot, humid day for us today. Temperatures up there all the way up to 91 for a high. Plus we had heat indices about 100 to 102 during the afternoon. We started at 69. Normal high is 90 degrees, but not much is going on, at least here. We have scattered thunderstorms are kind of around the region out through central parts of Missouri, northeastern Missouri. These will not affect us, and then also severe weather ongoing through Nebraska and northwestern parts of Kansas. These guys, some of those, could try to sneak in late tonight into tomorrow morning. Still, it's warm. Most of us sitting near 80. We still have a little bit of a heat index. It feels a little bit hotter than that, a little muggier than that across the region. As we go through the overnight hours down to 73, hit and miss storm chances really any time during the daytime hours for us tomorrow. High temperature right around 88. Plus, we have a severe threat by tomorrow evening. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
See you soon. Police in Anderson, Missouri say a man's body was found in a ditch covered in dog bite marks. The man's identified as 41-year-old George Martin of Anderson. According to the McDonald County coroner, the bite wounds happened before Martin died, but they were not the cause of death. Martin's body was found in front of 100 Lindsay Lane, just outside of Anderson city limits. Authorities are trying to find what dog may have done this. The coroner is also seeking a toxicology report, but the results could take weeks to come in. Police in Nevada, Missouri arrest a woman accused of trafficking drugs through the mail. Authorities say 43-year-old Don Hopper of Nevada received a package with 115 grams of suspected methamphetamine through the Postal Service. Hopper is charged with second-degree trafficking drugs. Joplin City Hall's phone lines are open again. The city's phones went down this week due to what the city is calling a, quote, network security incident. Phone lines are connected to the internet in the offices. The city hasn't provided updates for any of the other services affected, like online bill payments. The city has called in a cybersecurity firm to investigate the incident. The city has been investigating whether personal information submitted during online payments was involved. The legacy of Bob Corley, a Joplin area philanthropist, lives on through a series of grants for area nonprofits. Southwest Missouri Bank trustee of the Corley Memorial Trust announced the recipients of this year's Corley grants today. 36 area nonprofits are getting a share of more than $236,000.
The great thing about our local charities is they're diverse. There's so many different types. The grant process gives a chance for each of these charities to ask for and receive funding from this perpetual trust, primarily again to benefit homeless and needy individuals here in Southwest Missouri.
Bob Corley passed away in 2019. Still ahead, the financial impact of the pandemic so far is becoming more clear as a new study looks at how it's affected the world's job market. And ZAILA AVANT-GARDE makes history as the first African-American Scripps Spelling Bee winner. She says spelling is just her side hustle. So imagine what she's going to do when given the chance to accomplish her bigger dreams. We're going to tell you what those are next. The pandemic obliterated 22 million jobs in wealthier nations, according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. The economic watchdog estimates the ranks of the unemployed grew by more than 8 million people last year, and the global labor market is not expected to recover to pre-pandemic levels until 2023. A 14-year-old New Orleans girl made history at the Scripps National Spelling Bee, becoming the first African-American winner in the history of the competition. And as Diane King Hall shows us, spelling isn't her only talent.
Maria, M-U-R-R-A-Y-A.
That is correct.
14-year-old ZAILA AVANT-GARDE of Louisiana twirled in excitement after winning the Scripps National Spelling Bee, the first African-American to do so.
It felt really great to be the first African-American champion because it's just almost 100 years of no African-Americans. It's not too surprising or anything, but it's still kind of sad and stuff for there not to be any African-American winners, but It feels good.
First Lady and educator Jill Biden was on hand for the competition, which was modified because of the pandemic. Only the 11 finalists got to compete in person. AVANT-GARDE says she wasn't nervous on stage.
It's like a kind of like a dream come true because I've been working towards that goal for like 2 years.
I'm proud to name you the 2021 Scripps National Spelling Bee champion.
The teenager told CBS This Morning what she loved about spelling that made her practice hours and hours a day.
If you like study and know the roots, and it's really easy, so just knowing roots is really helpful in spelling, and I love that part of it.
But spelling isn't AVANT-GARDE's only passion. She's also a basketball phenom. She holds 3 Guinness World Records for her dribbling skills and hopes to play in the WNBA one day. Diane King Hall, CBS News, New York.
Wow, a lot of talent. For those of you wondering, Muria, the winning word, it's a category of tropical, Asiatic, and Australian trees. Of course, you knew that. As Americans feel more comfortable taking to the skies, United Airlines is giving them more places to go. The airline is boosting its service to cities in the U.S., Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central America. United plans to add nearly 150 flights to warm weather destinations across the U.S. It'll fly 137 more flights than it did in 2019 to the south and west coasts. United just announced the addition of more than 270 mainline aircraft, the largest fleet order in its history. Later, the Joplin Outlaws look for a hot start to the second half of their season as they take on Nevada. We're going to have the highlights in sports.
Plus, thunderstorm chances increasing by the time we head into the weekend. We're going to talk about that coming up next. Well, it definitely turned out to be a hot and very humid day for us today. Temperatures were all the way up into lower 90s. Heat indices above 100 degrees, which we never like to see, but happens often this time of the year. Great shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, a live shot. Of course, Indigo, parking lot full. It's Friday night, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, let's look at the temps. It's still warm. Most of us upper 70s to near 80 degrees across the entire 4-state area. Eventually we'll drop back near 70 later on tonight, but also our humidity is up there. Our dew points in that 70 to 72 degree range. That is the moisture in the atmosphere, and that puts us kind of in that muggy to soupy range. That's where we're going to sit tonight into tomorrow. Looks good though, 7th and range line off toward the northwest, sitting at 80. Dew point 72. Pressure is steady at 29.97 inches of mercury. Looks good. Everybody is dry. We do have some thunderstorms back to our east, central Missouri, northeastern Missouri, and then also back to our northwest. Tornado watch is in effect across northeastern parts of Missouri. These aren't going to affect us. These are going to stay east of the region. These guys we got to keep our eyes on as they will try to get in late tonight into tomorrow morning. But tonight is going to be dry until late. Here's 3 a.m. Scattered thunderstorms trying to get into our northern counties. And then we're going to have scattered morning thunderstorms. Here's 9:30. Some of these could be strong. And then as we go through the day, just kind of hit and miss isolated storms anytime during the day. I do think most of us will have several hours that it's going to be dry, maybe 5, 6, 7 hours that it's going to be dry. Just hit and miss isolated storms. So I still think in general, tomorrow's an okay day. It's tomorrow evening that we'll start to get a line of showers and thunderstorms that will work in, kind of plow through. And these are the ones that could be possibly severe. If we had any severe thunderstorms, the main threat is going to be hail, wind, heavy rain, but not much of a tornado threat. These continue to work through. We clear out tomorrow night, and then we're going to sit on the backside of this storm system. So on Monday, we're going to have pop-up scattered thunderstorms, most likely non-severe, but scattered thunderstorms as we go into Monday afternoon. All right, everybody across the region has a severe threat tomorrow. The timing is mainly 5 p.m. until 11 p.m. Main threats, wind and hail. I'm going to keep the tornado threat low. I'm going to elevate hail, wind, and a heavy rain as it continues to work through for us tomorrow. Rainfall amounts, we have to see where the heaviest cells really set up. But I would say on average, most of us will pick up a ½ an inch, upwards to an inch of rain. But there are going to be some spots that get a little bit more than that as we head into tomorrow evening. All right, 88 tomorrow. We're going to make an alert day because we do have a severe threat. I expect most of us to get rain tomorrow. That's why I'm going to 70%. Probably should be 80 or 90% of us will get rain. Scattered thunderstorms on Sunday. A few hit and miss storms on Monday. Hot Tuesday and Wednesday. We heat back up on Thursday and Friday. And if you want to look at next weekend as well, hot, humid, some scattered thunderstorms.
Yeah, 10 days outlined for us there. Thanks, Chuck. Well, nice weather tonight. Despite the possibility of rain this weekend, the nice weather tonight allowed the fun to continue at the Bourbon County Fair, which is good news because tonight's fun included the Fair Rodeo at the Bourbon County Fairgrounds. Some of the area's toughest cowboys and cowgirls showed up to show off their stuff.
I mean, we get people from Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Georgia, Alabama. We got them from everywhere, so.
Fair runs until July 17th with events including a dog show, a horse show, and livestock judging. You can find a list of other area county fairs on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. A horse show in Carthage brought together some of the area's most experienced horse trainers with some others who are still learning the ropes. The Ozark Quarter Horse Association hosted the show at Lucky J Arena. There are 3 classes of entrants: youth, adult amateur, and open, which is for adult professionals. Winners are awarded points to go toward their standing and potential qualification in the World Championships. Coming up in sports, the Joplin Outlaws look to start the second half of the season with a win against Nevada. Also, a Missouri Southern baseball star announces his next move into Division I.
Doug had service. It's our ministry.
Well, the second half of the season starts tonight for the Joplin Outlaws. The Outlaws are 11-11 through the All-Star break, sitting in first place in the Mink League South Division. And Joplin on the road against the Nevada Griffons tonight in their first game of the second half. A nice base running here. Ethan Ellis taking off for second. Gets the stolen base. No run to come of it, though. Bottom second, Outlaws back up. Jack O'Brien gets the grounder to second. Double play there. Game still scoreless. Now, next inning, O'Brien strikes out 2. He gets 3 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. Griffons, though, come alive in the fourth. 8 runs in the inning. Nevada goes on to win this one 11-8. Well, St. Louis Cardinals have just 3 games left until the All-Star break. The Cards hit the field today for an afternoon game against the Cubs in Game 1 of their 3-game series. Now, St. Louis 2 games under 500 coming into this one, sitting at 43-45. Jock Peterson to right with the bases loaded. Dylan Carlson almost had the catch. Pops out of his glove, though. All 3 runners score. Check it out again. Carlson almost had it, man. It's 3-0, though. Chicago leads. 4-2 in the 6th now. Tommy Edman at the plate. Goes to the gap, but look at Jason Hayward tracking it down. Nice sliding grab. It remains 4-2. The Cubs pull away after that. Chris Bryant, bases loaded. Gets one to the wall to clear the bases. Cards drop their opener to the Cubs today, 10-5. In the American League, the Kansas City Royals try to even up their series with Cleveland tonight. The KC dropped Game 1 last night 7-4. Tonight, not a lot of scoring, but the Royals fall 2-1. Jorge Soler gets a solo homer for Kansas City. Well, it is playoff time for local Little League baseball. The Webb City 12 and under squad is the #1 seed in the Missouri Little League District 2 tournament. And Webb City up against Springfield in their first game of the double elimination tournament tonight. Now it's Springfield striking first. Hunter Heffernan delivers with the bases loaded. 2-run single puts Webb City in a 2-run hole. On the bottom of the first, home team answers. Brady Holland, RBI ground out to the right side. That scores Rylan Bell. Webb City on the board. Then Barrett Weller gets the equalizer here, drops it in the right to bring Mason Young home. Young, by the way, 2 for 2 with a triple and a homer. Webb City rolls by Springfield 12-2. Finally, Missouri Southern's Dexter Swims is transferring to MIZZOU to finish his college career. Swims made the announcement via social media earlier today. The St. Louis product just finished up his third season at Southern, hitting .300 with 14 doubles and 3 home runs. Swims was the MIAA Freshman of the Year in 2019 and a first-team All-MIAA selection that season. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Sign up today for the Win Today.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Staff Sergeant Bob Huggard served in the U.S. Army. His hometown, Dennis, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Staff Sergeant Bob Huggard. He's tonight's four-state hero. If you're a bike, truck, or classic car enthusiast, hey, you might want to plan a trip to Joplin's Landreth Park this weekend. Mother Road Mayhem Car, Truck, and Bike Show kicked off this morning and continues through Sunday. The event coordinators put on car shows all around the nation and have selected Joplin as a new spot because of its unique history.
So in discussing what was unique about Joplin and the surrounding, he kind of latched on the two kind of iconic things he's landed on is Route 66, the Mother Road, and also the Bonnie and Clyde apartment being here.
Admission is free for spectators to watch vehicles from all over the country compete for the grand prize of Best in Show. Doug, you're kind of a car enthusiast.
I am.
It might be kind of interesting, I think.
Yeah, I love car shows, and especially we have some pretty good ones around here during the year, so it's always a good fun time. It's going to be a little hot if you're heading out there. You're going to be dodging some storms, which car enthusiasts do not like their car to get wet. But we're going to be dodging some storms tomorrow. 88. Some thunderstorms could be severe during the evening hours, cooling down actually a little bit Sunday and Monday.
Final sports note.
I want to give a shout out to this kid, Nolan Bronson. Walk-off hit tonight for the Joplin American Little League team. They beat the Joplin National All-Stars 6-5 in the first round of the district tournament. So anytime you can go out there, get a walk-off.
Yeah.
Little
and
League.
get
It's
it on
exciting.
TV.
Yeah, I know. I showed up just like a couple minutes before that. I was super pumped.
Good for him. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget our show this weekend, and let's make it a great tomorrow.
So on services.